Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's edition of our AM Minnesota program. I had forgotten we were going to have a show today, to be quite honest, or I would have plugged it earlier. Silly, silly me. I didn't write it in my calendar, as the guests know now, because they're writing in the calendar. Ardy Murphy is with me. She's the chairperson of a special event that's coming up. Executive Director of the Hope Center here at Faribault, Staab. Absher is with us as well. And did I pronounce that right?
You did. Great job.
I don't know if I talked to you since you were married.
No, I don't think so.
So, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How cool is that?
It's great.
Fantastic. And Ardy?
Yes.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Gordy.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So did you have a good St. Patty's Day?
Yes, we did.
No.
Yes, we did.
Good
Always.
Murphy, that's a good Irish name.
Yes, that's my husband. I'm German,
Yeah.
of course, but you know, we
Oh,
celebrate those Irishmen.
Yeah, the Irish and the Germans get along very
Oh,
well.
we get along fabulously.
Man, when we were in Germany a couple of years ago, we were in a little pub. Can't remember what town it was, but there was this Irish couple there celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary, speaking of marriages. And they were, of course, they're up there in their years, but they were very spry and fun people.
Well, we're on 53, going on.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's quite an accomplishment.
It is. It is.
53 years.
Indeed.
So you'll have to go over to Germany and go to some pub.
You know what? That'd be fun.
Or Ireland.
Ireland would be fun too. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were there for, well, they don't call it Oktoberfest, where we were at.
Okay.
It was Martin Luther Day.
Oh, really? Oh.
When we celebrate Halloween, they have Martin Luther Day.
Interesting.
It was awesome. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about a fundraiser. Is that right, Eric?
The tour tables.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's coming up really quickly. All of a sudden it's April and it's almost here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we do this. This is our second year doing this, so we're excited about that. But it's Ardy's 9th year, seventh year, since she had done it for the Red Cross before.
Oh,
and so now in the past 2 years, or this year and last year, it's been for the Hope Center.
Well, that's cool. Ardy, you obviously have switched it around then.
I did only, what happened is the Red Cross office moved out of our vicinity, and so it's in Rochester, so it's a little hard to put a fundraiser on for that.
Yeah, and you want to keep it local.
So I wanted to keep everything local and give back locally. And the Hope Center name, and Erica was out there, and I thought, hey, you know, that's for women and children, and it's a good thing. It's for domestic abuse, and Erica can talk about that, but I thought that was a good thing to fundraise for, give back to the community for.
Yep, April is
Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
It certainly is, so it's appropriate that you're here today.
Exactly.
And then tomorrow, the Heroes for Hope, part of the proceeds go to the Hope Center.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we're excited about that too. So it's fun, and that's what I love about this is, you know, that's fun to get outside, and, you know, for a certain segment of the population, that's their thing, and the tour tables is something I think really unique, and so it's fun to do that as well, and both are fun events, and I enjoy both of them.
So how long have you been doing this, Ardy?
Well, it's been, like I say, the 7th year that I put on the tour tables. I brought it here from my hometown area. I thought it was so cool, and I thought it's so beautiful, and I just love fun tables, and there's a lot of women that are so creative, and I thought, wow, let's try it. So this is why I brought it here, and everybody's just been real great about volunteering to do tables and bringing guests and doing a silent auction with it, and it's just worked out wonderful. And I especially like doing it for the Hope Center. It's such a worthy cause.
Yeah. So where are you from originally? You said
I'm from Adrian, Minnesota, down in the southern part of the state. Adrian.
That's over by Worthington. Right?
That's right. I usually have to say Withington, Laverne's. You know,
yeah.
We're 45 minutes.
I was born in Worthington.
You were?
Yeah, it's the turkey capital of the world.
That's right. I've been to Turkey Days a few times. Mm-hmm. I even met Bobby Kennedy there.
No kidding.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was
Bobby
just before
Kennedy?
Just before he was, you know, killed. I remember going and shaking his hand. They always had some people that from the, like, people from different states, and their governors or their mayors or political people also. So that was wonderful.
So he was there for the turkey thing.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. You learn something every day. We're going to talk more about, well, of course, sexual assault awareness, and we're going to talk about what the Hope Center down the play. You're nodding your head, Ardy.
Well, I saw them. Was it the Fiddler on the Roof?
That's it, Fiddler on the Roof. Because Kenyon Wanamingo did the same play.
Yeah.
I attended that. They did a phenomenal job.
It was just in the paper today.
Over at Kenyon Wanamingo. So some folks will be in. I don't know if we'll have the stars of the show, but we're going to have some folks in on Monday's AM Minnesota program. Looking forward to that. Dr. Munch will be with us on Wednesday. We're going to talk about knees and that sort of thing. And then on Thursday, we have a severe weather awareness show. It's Severe Weather Awareness Week next week because the snow is falling outside. We're going to have a severe... It's been snowing on the day of Severe Weather Awareness show before in the past. We've had severe weather on the day of our Severe Weather Awareness show too. That's what April's like in Minnesota. You can get every kind of weather imaginable as the snow spits from the skies, even as we speak. So that's next Thursday. Tune in and you'll find out the very latest in what to do during severe weather, because things have changed over the years, Ardy. When I was a kid, when you were a kid probably, you were told to head to the south, I think it was the southwest corner of the basement or something like that. That's not what they recommend nowadays. You were told to open all the windows in the house on one side,
That's right? Yep.
Something like that?
That's right. You're right.
When I first got into radio, that was the recommendation. But
I don't know, we were lighting candles and praying a lot.
They were banned, yeah. Well, you probably had a few tornadoes over Adrian Way.
We did, but they never really struck us. They just kind of went zooming past us.
Oh, that's good.
They did cut a few farm places and some other towns near us, though.
So how did you come up with the idea for tourist tables? You said it came from your hometown,
Well,
right?
my sister invited me to Laverne, Minnesota, which is in our home area, and they always put it on for hospice. So it was my birthday in November 1st, and so she said, Ardy, come on down for the tour tables. I said, what is that? And so when I walked in there, I went, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I mean, these beautiful tables these women put up, and they had invited their friends or co-workers, and they had a little luncheon, and then they had a silent auction. It was just wonderful for the hospice, and that's why I brought it here. I thought, oh, we could do that. I think we'll try it. And then the Red Cross and Angela Storage at the time,
sure.
We worked it out, and that's how it started. And then, like I say, then when the Red Cross moved, I asked Erica if she'd be interested, and she was. So that's how we got going on that.
Well, you're not going to ever turn down money, right, Erica? You need that
Exactly.
nonprofit.
Well, it has to go locally. That's what I like. And Erica is local, you know. So I like doing it for, especially because I'm a woman. I like doing it for women's issues too,
sure.
which is nice, and for children. If you're a mother, you're a grandmother, you want to include that too. And of course, there's always men too that can have that problem. So.
Did you know what a tour of tables was before this came about?
I had no idea.
So tell us what you think.
Well, it was funny because when we were planning this, I just couldn't envision what it would look like,
right.
and so I was like, sure, I was going along because it sounded great, but it was so fun on the day to go in and see everything, kind of unfold and everybody's tables and things,
That's
and
right.
it was really neat. So.
Everything's worth the work.
Yes.
For the day. The day is absolutely my favorite day of the year. And I love it.
You mean it beats Christmas?
Yeah.
It beats St. Patty's Day?
It does. It beats every day of the year for me. I love the Tour Tables Day because you have all these gals creating such a beautiful setting, or a whimsical setting, or a comical setting, or just a setting. And they do it on their own, or ask a couple friends to help them. And then they invite the friends, people to the table. And it's just beautiful. They're all so different, aren't they, Erica?
Well, and that's what's so fun, I think, is because you have, the whimsical, and then you have the grandmother's tea sets, and then you have something complete, like a John Deere setup, which we had last year.
I did my 50th anniversary one year. I made a table of all the things from our wedding.
Oh, cool.
And the setting was like the colors of our wedding. And I had the first presents I got. I had a card that was our wedding card. I mean, there was a lot of things in it's cool. And I've done a whimsical one, which was all about mice. It was called Mice Are Nice.
You still had your wedding presents from 53 years ago?
I have wedding presents that I kept special because it was actually the first ones I got. As a young girl, we didn't have a whole lot. And this aunt of my husband's sent a beautiful, she called it the banana leaf tray, and it was silver. And I thought, oh, I've never seen anything so beautiful. So that's something that was on that table, and
sure.
I had a couple of other things that were from our wedding presents. Oh yeah, I've kept our wedding presents, a lot of them.
So trying to follow this, there's no central theme here, right?
No.
You can do whatever you want.
It's whatever.
Yeah, and that's what I think is so fun, because people will choose colors, or they'll choose their favorite flower, or they'll choose for instance, the AAUW is doing books because that makes sense.
Right,
Yeah.
yep.
And so it's just fun.
We had the Faribault Daily News do a masquerade one last year. It was gorgeous. And they all dressed up and had, you know, the mask on the face thing, you know, that they hold up. And we've had every kind of, I've done about 14 tables myself on my own, different themes. Never the same.
Last year there was a Christmas table, there was hats,
Yes.
all sorts of beautiful hats,
Yeah.
which was fun. And you know, when you say it, you're like, oh, well, that sounds interesting, I guess. But when you see it, it's just gorgeous.
You have to see it to believe it.
So you're talking women's hats?
All kinds of hats. There were men at the table that wore hats. Harvey Schultz wore a hat. And at the table, pretty cool, you know, very nice.
Yeah.
He looked really neat.
Cool.
It was cool. I couldn't tell you all the tables on it because of the 7 years. There have been everything from fall themes to spring themes to every theme you can think of, picnic themes, and I can't even. I kept a book. I have a picture of every table, and I bring it to the function. And if people want to look at it, they can. They can get ideas from it if they want, or whatever. So it's just kind of fun.
How many tables will you have?
This year is 22.
And where is this again?
At the Legion, American Legion, on April 17th.
April 17th.
Starts at 12 o'clock.
Gee, that's just around the corner.
That's right.
Exactly. Yep. We're busy getting everything ready.
You
And
still have openings if people were interested?
Well, actually, pretty much we have to do the program. So we pretty much have our tables set up.
Okay.
And so it goes into once it's in the program, but I'm very seldom would turn anybody down, right? Because you want people to come. But I do have a couple of openings just for, the hostess always gathers her people, but there is an opening at a couple of tables, just a couple of people, so I am looking for a couple of people, but I've gotten a couple since the other day, and they are getting tickets to the table. But for a table alone, to decorate it now is kind of late, I think, to do it, because it's just a week, and it takes some planning. But like I say, if someone really seriously wanted to do one, I would never say no.
So then there's a meal with this too, and you sit at the tables?
It's a luncheon, so it's a luncheon. And the Legion puts that on.
well, I think it's such a fun time to be able to gather with your friends and then see people that you know as well. And I think that was another thing that was really fun for me is going around and just seeing all the people that I knew. And that was fun.
I don't think there's hardly anyone that has been at this function that I thought you'd see a lot of strangers. There's very few strangers. They might invite their girlfriends, co-workers, daughters, mothers, neighbors, anything like that. I have my neighbors coming, and a lot of times the people who do the tables are my friends' neighbors. Erica has the table there for friends, and her co-workers, right? And a lot of people give to the silent auction, which is wonderful. They've been so generous because it's such a good thing to give to. They've been very generous, very, very giving.
Can you highlight a couple of the items on the silent auction?
Actually, we have one highlight. We try to have something that's kind of unusual every year. Doesn't always happen, but we've had dishes, a set of dishes that we auctioned off last year that was beautifully set up. And we have a set of dishes this year too. And it was given to us, and that's going to be a highlight. But there's so many beautiful baskets, it doesn't really matter. They're all gorgeous. So.
Well, I do know, like, there's a few unique ones too. One of my board members brought it's a Elsa from Frozen. It's a piece of luggage, and then it's the theme of it is going to Grandma's house. So there's pajamas in it, a toothbrush, toothpaste,
so they
and
are
Teddy Grahams and things like that. So there's different themes, and then we got a wine basket in, and there's flower baskets for out in your garden.
There's Valentine's, there's Easter, there's books. We have about 35 baskets, and each one is unique in a certain way. There's one that I just got the other day, and it says "Have a Ball." And it's every kind of a ball that you would be using, like your kids, basketball, football, tennis ball, golf balls, and soccer ball, and all that. And it's just unique things they come up with. It's really cool.
I'll be darned. So what are these dollars used for, Erica?
To support our program. So they're used for the 24-hour stake line to help keep the doors open, and to help us serve our clients. Last year we had 747, I think, clients come through our doors. So.
747. That's why they do need the help.
747.
Yeah.
it's almost a couple a day, isn't it?
Yeah. We get phone calls every day, so thankfully we have the safe line for that, but we also get walk-in clients and we get lots of referrals from the community, which is helpful, but yeah, there's a lot of people needing our help. And those are just the ones that come forward because we know that many people don't come forward, so we want to make sure that they know that our services are free and confidential and that we're here to serve them.
Yeah, that's sad, really.
It is sad, yes.
It's
But
too
that's-
bad we need something like this. It's good that we have it, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you started this when this Hope Center became Hope Center, what year, do you remember?
1995 was when Hope Center started, but then it was Women's Safe Center. And so we changed the name for two reasons. One, because we wanted to make sure that people knew that we served men that needed our services
Right.
as well. And also because HOPE stands for Healing, Outreach, Prevention, and Education. So we wanted
It's
to
all
make sure
encompassing.
that, our mission is really more than just serving the clients that come through the doors. That's obviously our main focus, but we want to educate the community and we want to do outreach to make sure that everybody who needs us can find us.
Well, you're never going to stop that cycle of abuse unless you get people when they're young and educate them.
Yep. That's just it. We didn't want to just stem the tide of people that are coming in now. We want to stop that. So we want to go back in time, essentially, and get people when they're younger.
So are there programs in the schools now to teach kids about?
There are some, and then we go to any classroom that will have us. And so one of the things that we're looking at too is creating more of a long-term curriculum, because we know that in order to be effective, you have to see kids more than once a year. So making sure that that's within the curriculum and that people are continually referring back to, this is how we treat one another, this is the expectation that you have in a relationship, and talking about what a healthy relationship is. And that can be incorporated in any class that you have, because really that's...
You go around and do programs
Yes,
for lots of organizations.
Well, I could see
Yeah.
churches, confirmation classes.
Well, I was just at a church Wednesday, so...
She's really a busy lady.
That makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
How young do you think we need to go?
I've done kindergarten and preschool classes. Hands are not for hitting. These are the parts of our bodies that are private, and talk about the swimsuit and that kind of stuff. So starting early is the best way, especially because, if you're looking at sexual assault in particular, people are targeting young kids, and so we need to make sure that they have the vocabulary, that they have the knowledge, that they know who to talk to. One of the main things that we talk about is, who are 3 safe people in your life? Who can you talk to if something's happening? And making sure that kiddos have those connections, because we know that the kiddos that don't have those connections are the ones that are most at risk.
See why this is a great thing to do for her?
Oh, yeah.
A great event for this organization. Helps so many people. Many people.
It's really got to feel good to know that you're helping others.
It does, yes, it does.
I mean, it's a kind of a depressing topic on one hand, but on the other hand, it's nice to know that you can help people.
Well, I think that's why I still have hope, and why I, do what I do, because I've seen people change. I've seen the transition, and I've seen people, years later in happy, healthy relationships, and I've seen their kids grow up and, go on to have happy, healthy relationships as well. So.
Yep. Again, Erica Staab Absher is with us, the Executive Director of the Hope Center here in Faribault, but you serve more than...
We serve all of
Faribault.
Rice County, yeah.
Other, just Rice County?
Yeah, yep,
Okay.
just Rice County, and we get 700 and some from there, so
Wow.
unfortunately
Isn't that something?
that's enough for us
And
right
Ardy
now.
Murphy, who's the chairperson of this event, the Tour of Tables event, over at the American Legion, and again, that's on April the 17th.
Starting at 12 o'clock.
That's a Sunday, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
Sorry, I had to cough. I didn't want everybody in the world to hear that, although they probably did off your microphones. I didn't have a cold all winter, and I think I'm coming down with a cold.
Well, just stay away from us.
No,
I'm just kidding.
seriously, the
I know
entire
that's-
winter I did not have a cold.
You're lucky, because
That's amazing.
I think you had it, and I've had it. We've all had it. Seems like it's going around.
Yeah. Oh well. It's kind of interesting, the weather in the spring.
I love April, though. April is, I call it, it's kind of crazy because it's Hope's month, or domestic abuse, because I think April is a month of hope, because you see the little green, you see the crocuses come out, you see some tulips, some daffodils. So I love, but then I'm a farmer's daughter, so farmers in the spring.
April showers.
Yep.
Bring May flowers.
Yep, they always want to get into that field and start some growing.
So this is open to the public, obviously.
It's open. What it is a hostess invite to their table, so it's an invited event.
Oh, okay.
But
I
anyone.
can't just show up and look at the table.
No, well, no, not really. If you are invited, that is, that you sit at the table, the hostess hosts her own table. And so it's kind of an event that is inclusive of that, so.
Are you decorating tables this year, Ardy?
Always do every year.
What are you gonna have?
Who do I have, or what do I have?
What's your themes this year?
Well, my theme is an Italian theme.
Ooh, I was in Italy last April.
Well, gee, I should have talked to you, Gordy. No, really, it is Italian theme. I have some Italian special dishes that I bought several years ago, so I'm putting it around those dishes.
I'll be doggone.
Yep, yep. So it's kind of fun. And Erica's doing one on
An ocean theme.
an ocean theme. So you see, it's very different themes.
Ocean theme.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Last year we had butterflies for hope, and
Yep.
this
Well,
year
that
we're doing
makes sense.
oceans. Yep. Yep.
So there's a lot of different themes. Like there's 22 different themes, never one two alike. Last year I had 25 tables, never two alike. Even if they have maybe the same type of theme, the tables are completely different.
Isn't that amazing?
Completely different. You would never suspect they would be the same type of theme, like something maybe about New Orleans or the Mardi Gras or something like that. But the themes might be alike a little bit, but very rarely have two that are the same.
So then the people that have the tables pay to have the table.
What they do is
that how you get the fundraising?
This is how they do it. They become I ask them if they'd like to be a hostess, or they call and say, but usually I say, would you like to host a table? And then they invite 8 to 10 people, and all those people pay $25 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the funding comes in. So then we have the silent auction to kind of help with that too. So between the silent auction, and people have been generous also with donating money to the Hope Center. Like say you want to do a table and you can't this year. Some people will say, I'll give you X amount of dollars because I can't do it this year. Or why don't you use this to help fund your program. So they'll say, okay, this is for the event, and then it goes to the Hope Center. So, you know, you can do it a lot of different ways. But we really like the tables. We like people to say, I'll do a table. They invite their guests. Each guest plus the hostess pays the $25. And that pays for the meal, and then the rest goes to the Hope Center. Yeah, it's all completely volunteer. There is nothing except for the meal that we pay for. It all goes to the Hope Center. The Legion lets us use their facility.
And they can invite as many people as they want?
8 to 10, or they can do 2 tables. I've done 2 tables many years, and I have 20 people.
Sure.
Come for just my 2 tables. So yeah, you can invite as many as you want. If you have 2 tables, you can have 18 to 20 people, or 16 to 20, depending on how many you want at the table. Mm-hmm.
So the tables are always full then?
Yes, they are. Maybe 1 or 2, you know, if someone gets ill or gets called away, of course, but they still have paid their $25.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah, they can, you know, do that, so, yeah. But I say it's really nice that these people volunteer. The gals are so great about it, and a lot of them have done it every year for the event. Every year they've done a table.
What are some of the services that you do there at the Hope Center?
We provide therapeutic listening, safety planning, next steps, what am I going to do from here. We help with orders for protection, harassment, restraining orders. We help with support groups. If somebody is going to the hospital because of what's happened, then we'll go up to the hospital and be with them. We'll accompany people to court. We'll let them know what's happening if they don't want to go, or if they want somebody to go with them. So there's a lot of different ways that we kind of reach in to help. And there's, you know, if there's a need, then we try and meet that need.
I've heard some horror stories over the years, and you probably heard many more, from women who have said that, you know, they felt victimized after being victimized, if you know what I'm saying, because of the approach of the officers or whoever is on the scene. Are we better at educating officers about how to treat?
Well, and actually that's interesting because we received a federal grant for 3 years, and it's called the Blueprint Project, and really what it is about creating a better response from all of the players in the field. And so we have law enforcement, prosecution, we're there, corrections is there, all these different players, and saying how can we do this better, how can we not re-victimize, and how do we make sure that everybody gets what they need. And so really we've been meeting for over a year now, and we're creating a new protocol for all of us that we can all use to make sure that that doesn't happen. And also, you know, as you know, we have some great law enforcement leaders here, and that makes all the difference. And so that, you know, Chief Monty Nelson is on our board, the captain of the police department from here used to be on our board, and hopefully he'll be coming back. And we have just a lot of people that, and Sheriff Dunn is on our board, and so they're incredibly supportive, which again makes all the difference. If that leader in the is saying we need to respond this way, that trickles down. So.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yep.
Sheriff Dunn helped us at the Tour Tables event last year, and I think he's helping us again this year.
Okay, what was his table?
Well, he didn't have a table. He was at a table probably, but doesn't he have your table? Well, the Hope Center table. But what he did was he helped with the silent auction. What better person to have on the silent auction than
He was auctioneering?
That's not
auctioneering.
auctioneering.
That's a silent auction.
Just he's watching. He's helping with the silent auction. I didn't have to worry about a thing.
Keeping everything
and
safe.
Gail from the state bank, they were both up there. It was just really neat to have him there, and Gail too. Yeah.
Well, fantastic.
Yeah.
In this, you have to be invited though.
By the way, the Shattuck girls and boys, students, volunteer to help with the serving of the plates. They plate the food for us, and then they also help for a while in the beginning to help people get their things into the Legion Hall if you need help.
Very cool.
So we've had them every year, except for one, and that was the very first year. But after that, they've come every year to help. They volunteer also.
I get the feeling you're going to do this for a few years yet.
I hope so, yes. Also now, we've had the last 2 years some Girl Scouts that help, that are coming and help too. 13-year-old girls, I believe you said. They help too. Yeah, and I hope to do it. I hope to do it for a few years.
Learning how to give back. Another life lesson. Well, again tomorrow, Heroes for Hope, which benefits the Hope Center, Ruth's House.
Whispers of Hope.
Whispers of Hope. I always forget that one for some reason. So it benefits those three organizations. They want to take that in. That's 9 o'clock tomorrow registration, right, Erica?
Yes, yep. Yeah, well, you'll probably want to come a little bit early because I think the race starts at 9 o'clock.
Okay, all right. If you
and
need
it's
to
on
register.
the Facebook page.
Yep. And they have it's a timed event too for those who are, you know, avid runners. It's actually timed, and I know that's very important to some folks. Thanks, Ardy. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ardy.
Good luck with your fundraiser. I don't know that you need luck. That concludes today's edition of AM Minnesota on KDHL AM.